Marketing Strategy for Authors. Written by Tao Wong. Narrated by Shannon Thompson. The Basic Promotional Toolbox. We've now covered the theoretical concepts of marketing promotions, the tools that you need to have a proper promotional strategy, and what you need to consider when building out your promotional calendar. Now, let's discuss the basic building blocks, which I think should be the core part of any promotional toolbox. Author website. Firstly, you need a place where your readers can find you and, just as importantly, find information about your next book and their release dates. Read that again. That is the most important information your readers are looking for when they come to your website. You need to let them know when book 2, 3, 4, etc. is going to be released and when and/or where they can buy those books. Everything else is superfluous unless you are trying to make yourself the brand. In that case, then yes, your website will need to have your branding content on it, pictures of your kittens, the food you cook, daily musings, etc. For most, though, you'll need a contact page, a series page with links to where to buy your book, and new release information. That's it. I use WordPress myself, along with a bunch of plugins. You can add things like Google Analytics and the Facebook Pixel, as well as Amazon Associate accounts to your website to add information. They are all useful, but not necessary. A contact page, a series page, and new release information? Necessary. Lastly, a website is a great place for you to start converting browsers looking for information into newsletter subscribers. There are numerous ways to integrate website forms, and most of them are really simple. A newsletter. Next up, you need a newsletter. I'm going to recommend that you use one of the newsletter systems out there, like SendFox, MailerLite, etc. This is because they are set up to handle mass emailing and to deal with the privacy and other legal concerns about emailing people. For example, did you know that you need to have an address on your newsletter that people can send mail to? Yes, really. I generally recommend that you create 2 mailing lists. The first is the organic mailing list, those people who subscribe to your newsletter off the back of your books, off your website, or Facebook integration. The second mailing list comes from use of other mailing list sites like Story Origin or BookFunnel. You'll have to build that list slowly, and generally, you'll have to build it via giving away free books, chapters, novellas, or short stories. We'll discuss stuff like that later, but realize you want to separate these lists. The reason for the separation is simple. You get different levels of open rates. You want to safeguard organic lists with your life, whereas the other is more likely to have individuals who are overall less interested in you. Check out Tammy Labrecque's book, Newsletter Ninja: How to Become an Author Mailing List Expert, for more information. A social media account. If you're a beginning author, realize that the vast majority of the time, spending money to promote your work is going to be a negative return on investment, ROI. There are ways around that. AMS can be good at that. But in general, without multiple books and multiple books in a series, you're going to be losing more money advertising. In that sense, building a social media account and interacting like a consumer of social media with potential fans will be the cheapest and most cost-effective manner. I don't mention which social media sites to use for 2 reasons. Your personal inclinations are important. If you use Facebook, that's where I'd point you at. If you use Reddit, the same. Where your target market hangs out. This might not be the same as above, though you'll find quite often with the larger social media systems that there will be groups. The size of those groups will vary. Example, I really don't think there's a huge lit RPG group in Pinterest. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. One thing to consider is to look up the demographics of each group. Pinterest leans more towards women, Facebook these days is filled with older people, and TikTok is where the young and cool are right now. In either case, remember to be part of the community first. Join the various subreddits, Facebook groups, Twitter conversations, etc. as a regular part of the community before you begin advertising. Being genuine will make your social media promoting work much better, rather than running in and dropping a post. That's a very good way to get yourself banned. Amazon Author Central. Yes, Amazon is evil and a monopoly, etc., but it's still a good idea to make sure you claim your own books on Amazon Author Central and make sure all your books are set up there. It's also useful to keep an eye on your books and make sure they are all listed as a series and all your paperbacks, hardcovers, and audiobooks are linked. All this can be done via emails to the contact form or via their new series page formatter in your author account. And that's it. Those are the basic tools. Later on, you'll want to start looking at advertising, which we'll talk about. However, if you're just starting out, the above is the minimum I'd recommend you start with.